delegates, and thank you for investing your time in this summit. Without taking further time, I'll just like to take further what we are going to do for railways. We already are doing. My name is Anand Krishna Vakchore. I am working with Motwani as National Sales Head for all the products here. And my aim in life is to make your business successful. So my invitation here would be, in case any officers would be having any electrical practical problems which you are not able to find a solution to, please visit our stall. Our expert team will also assist you on finding the right solution to take it further. So I'll just walk you through what Motwani is. Motwani was actually incorporated in 1909. So it is more than 100 years kind of journey, and truly make in India company, which is into test and measurement and the security division. So we have 350 plus employees, out of which 40 plus R&D scientists are there. So our topmost R&D scientist who is working, Mr. Kishore Pagar, his experience itself is 45 years into the same TMM line. So we are able to understand to what our customers require as the burning pain problem, and what solutions to be given so that that problem can be solved with optimistic view. We have 3 manufacturing locations, all are in Maharashtra. 2 of them are in Nasik, and 1 is there in Pune. So the Nasik plant which is there, that actually looks out for test and measurement, which is at Nasik Road. Our Satpur plant looks after the security related aspects. And the Pune facility is whole and soul dedicated to cable fault and cable diagnostics manufacturing. Okay, and we are having a proud moment to say that we are supplying to more than 60 countries. So we are CE marked, our equipments are up to the world-class levels, and our local services across the globe is present. Okay. So this was the journey that we started since 1909, foundation of Eastern Electrical Company, renamed as Chicago. So the path went in. So earlier we started with the Chicago mics, where Mahatma Gandhi ji used to give his speeches to the masses. And maybe somewhere we take the pride that we are also having some contribution into the freedom fighting movement through our supplies. Then we actually took in over the TNM industry, started doing multimeter, climeter, and now we are able to manufacture a whole lot of solutions, starting from multimeter to cable fault locator, and even a substation testing setup. Now this setup can be van mounted, or we can give you an NABL accredited test and calibration lab into your facility. So this expertise is there with Motwani. So esteemed customer list. So we have just made this slide short. So yes, in the middle we have Indian Railways. So it's not just Indian Railways. So we recently have closed a big order from DFCI, and it was a consultative sale. Normally what happens is EPCs always buy the cheaper products so that they can earn the margins. So, but here we have to actually assist the end customer that yes, you will need a Cat 4 rated safety equipment, not a Cat 1 rated equipment, which could kill a user. So this assistance we give to the end customers. We solve their problems by demonstrating at the site. We give trainings. But yes, Indian Railways and the sister concerns and the JVs are all our customers proudly. Okay, so without wasting any further time, I'll just start the topic for today, that how we are going to assist Indian Railways to achieve the modernization targets. So my theme here is modernizing the ways. So in every way, railways are modernizing. Maybe it's security, may it's been electrical infra, or whatsoever. Yes, some fascinating and interesting facts, and I think Sanju sir also briefed that, ma'am also briefed it. Some facts, but when I was going through all these details, I was astonished. Like, yes, we should be proud about our Indian Railways, And now it is in a great momentum. This figure will be changed in huge multiple times. So one of the largest in the world, like ma'am also indicated that we have now surpassed China also, right? So we are the first country who actually overtook China, because these four competitors, which were US, Europe, Russia, and your China, were always ahead. So now we have just moved one rank ahead. We have 67,000 kilometers tracks. This is also massive. Carrying approximately 23 million people every day is not a joke. So salute to all of you for your contributions to making this successful. 7,300 stations across the nation, and many of these, as shared by our earlier team members and respected sir also, was it's upgrading, like 1,000 of them are already in upgradation or redevelopments. Employs over 1.3 million citizens. That's massive. I'll say that is even bigger than Reliance and Ambani. 17 cities with world-class amenities, with metro infrastructures, carries over 1.2 billion tons of freight annually. So this was a continuous record till last year. Till March 2024, we broke this record by 1,500 millions, which was first of time in the history. So don't laugh about this creativity, but the thing is, this was my visualization. Someday, railways will also come in individual transport system, point to point. Maybe Ola Uber could also die down soon, because the way railways has been thinking about the freight corridors, the passengers, the rolling stocks, the speeds and everything. I should not be surprised if such kind of solution comes in. Strategies that are actually been deployed by railways is aim to have the modal share of 45%. Like early in the morning, Sanjeev sir also was briefing. Roadways is the massive share taker out of the modal transport system. And we are only at 23% at this moment. So the Government of India and the Indian Railways is now looking for 45% as soon as possible. So that is where we are having this expansions of our tracks, doubling the tracks. Then upgradation of the infrastructures. It's like everywhere. I have seen, because I go at the site, when the customer asks, like, yes, this is the problem, Anant, we need to understand how you can help us solve these problems. So like maybe it's a cable fault location. Old cables, we can diagnose them. Old cables, the cable fault, we can find them. And we can ensure the system has the minimum downtime and predictive maintenance when it comes in. We want to have a zero breakdown time for our customers. As I said, doubling tracks, new dedicated freight corridors. As I just briefed you, we just supplied a big lot of equipments against Chinese supply by actually consulting or assisting the end customers that you really want equipments which will solve your problems, not just supply by the EPC and wash their hands away. Identify high-speed rail corridors, as ma'am also was indicating. There were many high-speed metro rails coming in, 160 kilometer per hour. Now I think there are certain discussions where 220 kilometer per hour was there, because I met a Russian MD at one of our railways office. It was coincident, I was there to meet our customer, and this Russian MD was sitting there, and he was actually behind this technology transfer of how can we go 220 kilometers. So something about that in a later part. New developments will be like localized generation of your energy, which is solar. So don't have to rely upon the discoms during the day times. BESS, which is there, battery enabled storage system, that is also being thought over, so that this can actually help in the night times when the solar is not there. So it will reduce the load of discoms. What happens is during the day times, fine, but when the night time comes in, the discom gets loaded. Whenever a train passes over from a station, huge current is drawn, voltage drops down, and it creates a lot of harmonics. So many a times, other parts get also tripped from the discoms. So the reliability also an issue. So this is going to help us a lot. Now when the solar is coming in, there will be inverters. There could be a question in mind of the delegates, like if solar is there, definitely there are inverters, there would be higher PWM and TSDs. But at this moment, BESS is also enabled with localized mitigation. So whatever harmonics and noise is created at that particular level will be mitigated at that same locations. Then upgradation of rolling stocks. Focus on safety and security. Since my 10 years kind of span, looking back, I'd been actively working into safety education of users, citizens, and I'll just like to brief you what I saw with my own eyes. I went to Nagpur, it was summer times, people are using your cold water dispensers, which are electric operated. Someone just receives a shock because no one had actually checked and repaired and maintained that. Secondly, many coaches, like there was a news where your locals in Kalyan, one of the bogie got caught into fires because the traction motor got burned. And later on the analysis was the cooling fan, which is above that traction motor, that was not working. So overheating actually killed that traction motor, and that resulted into eating up the complete bogie. So many such instances are there, and we are trying to assist the customer like what is to be done as predictive maintenance by using this test and measurement equipments, how to optimizely use that. And security and safety in other terms, like we also have our display. So the entrance barriers, ma'am had indicated about the terror attack, which was not so good. But yes, I also visited CST, the boom barriers are not working, or they are not allowed to work, I am not sure, but I saw those are not working. So if there are SOPs, regardless of the leadership, like any leader change in, but the SOPs and the functionality should be followed 100%. That is one very basic thing, and that is where it could lead into sudden ramp into the safety in terms of electrical safety, as well as the other threats from antisocial elements also. So as Khan sir also indicated, the most priority at this moment is giving a super experience to the users. Now it could be DFCI, who is into logistics and logistic parks, or the passenger services. I've visited many of these railway stations. I'm sure in 5 years' time, we'll beat the airports, the best airports in the nation. That kind of facilities are coming up into our railways. There are, at CST, we have those pods like we have in Japan. So some innovative things are also coming in India, looking across at the wider global spectrum. So these are beautiful things happening, and this is really going to change the confidence of the citizens over the railways, and which could definitely result into a higher business. Now, all looking good, there are always certain challenges. With my thought process and my analysis, I have not put everything which railways feels as, but the challenges where we can assist the railways divisions to actually solve them. So there are delays, many times, gaadi late ho gayi, no, 10 ghanta late ho gayi, but there are certain instances, the section went down because there were winds, there were rains, many times the insulators are not maintained properly, when rain comes in, the track gets overhead, electricity gets shorted with the pole, and that is earth. So the system gets stripped. So finding where exactly that problem is, that also takes time. Electrical downtime. Now, this line is very powerful, sir. It's not only about the bogies. Wherever electricity is there, there will be electrical chaos if not handled properly. So as I said, in electrical bogies, if not maintained properly, they will go into fires or disasters. People could lose life. I worked with rolling stock manufacturers like Bombardier. So these people are also now checking what is the continuity between the rail track to the body of your bogie. Why is that so? Because they want to see if there is any live situation, electricity gets into the body, maybe the AC compartments or anything, a rat goes and just chews it a phase, and that is touching to a body, and any civilian who is a passenger, he just touches because he is not aware and neither he is trained about electrical accidents. He touches the bogie, he receives a shock, then that's a problem. So what happens is, ideally, that current should pass to the earthing, which is now your tracks. So they are actually measuring that should be less than 10 milliohms. So they are using our equipment, which is called low resistance ohmmeters. So that is being supplied to actually cater to this kind of problems. So that was just electrical downtime. So if this happens, the relays into your complete coach, that trips in and the system stops. The whole train stops at that moment. Then the analysis goes on what went well, what went bad. That was one. Second is, I have seen at Borivali, when the local is going, at that moment of time what was happening is, the capacitor bank's fuse was going blown up. So we went and checked what is the current ratings, what is the voltage rating. Current was well within the limits. So there was no chance of getting there. Now we, looking from this test and measurement angle, we went to that place and understood the THD and the third harmonics was so high that the current which was going through the capacitors, the frequency is so high, it results into a skin effect. Our fuses are temperature operated, so it will operate only when the heat is generated. Maybe 100% amount of current goes in, or the heat is generated just because of the skin effect. So we can assist you on such kind of problems, why that problems are. So one fuse blown off, one of the phase going out, and there's a chaos. Again, the train stalls down. And then it results into a queued delay from point to the other point. Safety and security, as I said, uncontrolled crowd passengers, and many times it's like during festival times, people are chasing, but they don't buy the tickets. And we must have seen in last month, Chennai, 2 bogies full of reserved tickets people, they were all standing outside because reserved people were all inside. So railways had to give special quota tickets to the people who were reserved but couldn't enter under the emergency quota. So it's again a loss for railways. So if we start from the entrance point, so if someone is having tickets, the X-rays, everything, so anyone is having some weapons, can also be jotted down at every level. And only those people can then reach to the bogies who are actually having the liable tickets and who are clean from their own materials. And financial laws have n number of such situations. A delay in your travel time of your system will result into a lot of losses for the company, which is Indian Railways. Second is, fires could also result into huge losses because one coach would be not so cheap. Then again, compensation to your passengers and the user. I visited Kalyan. There was certain incidents where there was union strike going on, and there was a photograph of a person who was half burnt, and that person has actually gone and just used a stick to remove a dead body of crow, and that stick was wet. He immediately got electrocuted. But now the union issues start in, and that is where another losses comes in. So there are so many factors which actually are going to make losses for you. Now, how Motoni can assist you as a trusted partner? So I'll just brief this into 2 different segments. The electrical domain, we can reduce delays by providing trainings and right tools. Currently what is happening is, I'm not saying as a generic term, but whenever we are going to the end customers, who is the end user of the test and measurement equipment, who has to utilize this equipment to find what is the problem, they are not able to actually connect the equipment in a proper way. Say for example, 5Q insulation tester, there are 3 terminals, plus, minus, and the middle one is G, and it is green. So people get confused. G means earth. And that is not the right way to do that. So there are erroneous readings coming in just because of one mistake. So we actually go train the end users, understand their problems, because a junior may not tell the senior, sir, I don't know this, to save his reputation. So that is where we come in picture. And we select the right tools. So for a substation, a Cat 4 rated equipment is only required. Cat 1 rated equipment will blow off. It will burn itself and it will cook the man. Electrical downtime, if we are using these equipments and finding the pain points and rectifying them in time before they do a catastrophic damage, we can actually have a healthy electrical infra. So there will be no unnecessary trip-offs, shutdowns. So your lines will be continuously working. So you can maximize your capacity. Health of electrical infrastructure, and this will increase the reliability. So your assets will have a longer life. So here we are also going to save you a lot of funds. Why I am constantly telling about funds is, under the National Rail Plan, they have indicated we want to cut down the cost by 30% with the same infrastructures. So, and that is where we can actually get this in. Electrical safety, I already indicated. Electrical accidents, there are a lot many, but I'll brief them if any of the officers would like to know from me about those, my first-hand experience. So what products we have? So we can give you individual of this tool set, 5 kV insulation testers, transformer tons. So we have asset-wise testing equipments. So our asset into railways would be, we have motors, we have transformers, we have bus bar, overhead conductors, and the most neglected is, any clue? It is earthing. No one is concerned unless it's like, we have to go and check that things. But earthing in domestic also, unless some mishap is happening. But in companies, that's a good part. They have been done, but the contractor normally does is, sir, dikh to acha raha hai. So he manually certifies that and takes it. So that is one more point. So we have contact resistance kits. So if you are using thermal cameras to find into a panel or overhead conductor where it is 200 degrees, which is super critical, now that is online. But when you do a shutdown, we have these contact resistance kits for your circuit breakers, your conductor joints, your cable terminations, everywhere, so that you can rectify those problems before a massive fire can result out of that. Then protection testing, the relay testing equipments, automatic oil testing. So oil is one major component of your transformers. Moisture just going around 4%, it's actually going to burn your transformer because of short linkings. It actually ionizes and creates hydrogen and oxygen, which results into busting of your transformers. Then earth tester, as I said, leakage current monitors. So you have lightning arresters across the facility, but if that lightning arrestor is not working fine and the lightning strikes onto our facility, that is going to create a lot of headache. So every now and then we are checking by this, I'm not sure, yeah. This leakage current monitor, so it assesses the life of your lightning arresters. So it's a kind of safety test you can do. Then we have high voltage detector, the Kalyan incidents which I told you. So if that person would have actually checked with this non-contact detector whether the 25 kV system is on or off, and then if he would have done whatever required, he could have saved his damage. So these are the non-contact type high voltage detectors starting from 230 volts to 440 kV. So different ratings we can give you there. Then we have capacitance tan delta to find the dissipation factors. Conductor resistance meters, circuit breaker timer kit, transformer winding resistance. So asset wise we are going to help you to understand what is the fitness of your different assets. And the best part now is cable fault location. So I'm sure there are many officers here who are dealing day to day with cables, and everyone does. So I'm just putting that in forth. When a cable fault occurs, because someone is working on a garden, like someone is using tool and LV cable is cut, what happens is they'll just bury that and run away. But till then, to find that fault is a tedious task. So we have these cable fault locations, portable sets, or we can give you van mounted solutions so that the van goes to the site and any kind of problem or any kind of fault can be detected by this cable fault locator. So there are multiple techniques for different kind of faults which we can actually find from this. Second lot of solutions that we can help you out is uncontrolled crowd, passenger flow. So we had stampede in Surat in 2023 in November. So 3 people were seriously injured, 1 died, and similar thing happened in other parts of nation. So these stampedes, the security products can actually hold on the crowd, only release them whenever is necessary based on the priorities. Now that logic or how it has to be done, so there could be consultants who can help us out, but we are here to integrate these solutions for you at the sites. Security enhanced control systems. So I'll request all the officers to just have a look at our stall. We'll brief you about each and every solution that we'll be providing and how it is going to help you into handling the masses. Thefts of assets, access control and surveillance systems will definitely help you out. I was there with a utility, and same, I'll just try to say, recently at Mauda, I went to one of the utilities and 400 kV line, even when the thermal imagers are being used at night, people are going in a group, villagers nearby, they just cut the 400 kV line, which is overhead, and they are just willing to steal and sell it over. Now that's a problem. 2 people died out of that. They just leave the bodies there and run away. So this is also happening with railways. So your stockyards, many times the vehicle of third-party contractors comes in, so it straight away gets into your plant. Maybe the watchman or the security could be a friend, or maybe he is tired, but the vehicles straight away enter into a plant or the storehouse, and we are not sure what comes out of your places. So the access controls, the bollards, this can help us have restricted entries to your visitors and regular buyers. So in a nutshell, we have tripod tensile, barriers, different kind of flat barriers, swing gates, man traps, metal detectors, X-ray baggage scanner, boom barriers, and bollards. Bollards would be the metal rods coming out of the road so that vehicles do not enter into unauthorized accesses. Tire killers. So someone has done something bad and now they are taking vehicle outside. So we must have seen this in movies also, like the police just throw this and that is there. So this is also available with us. Road blockers, permanent road blockers, so no access allowed until appreciated. And the surveillance system. So under the vehicle, whenever the vehicle comes in for this in hotel, so they are using mirrors. So this we are giving a 180 degrees camera where the vehicle comes in, we see what's happening. An indication that is captured by the security and that is recorded as well. So it gives a proof like which vehicle came and which ambiguity was there with that particular vehicle. So I'll thank you for your kind, patient listening. I can be contacted over here, and any queries, I'll try my best to assist. Yes, sir.
In one of the slides, you have mentioned about leakage current monitor and high voltage detectors.
Yes, sir.
My question is, so far as the MRTS or high-speed trains or
Yes,
Vande
sir.
Bharat and many more are coming, they are in
Yes.
pipeline. These
Yes.
are concerned. Different type of technology is being used.
Right, sir.
Let me complete my question. Considering, let us say, I am considering only leakage current monitor and high voltage detector. Will these be applicable in all types of Vande Bharat trains, MRTS, high speed, or different products are being manufactured by you? I am asking the question from compatible point of view.
Right, sir. Sir, this HV detectors, like most of our overhead lines are 25 kV, right? So at that moment of time, we already have equipment which is up to 33 kV, starting from 3 kV. So its range is that. So if any voltage is there, so when and grounding is done during your shutdowns of the section, it is earth, but still because of induction, maximum 2.5 kV can also be observed. So we have different solutions, sir. So tomorrow if railway comes in, yes, now we want to go with a 66 kV overhead line, just as an example. So we have the different color codes of that high voltage detectors. The leakage current monitor is for your oxidized lightning arresters, which are connected above the poles or above your facilities or your DRM offices. So any lightning which comes over, it doesn't fall onto the building. So as of now, any manufacturer of those lightning arresters, they are using the zinc oxide or the oxide material. Those are stacked slabs. So what happens is, when the lightning comes in, because of the high voltage, it becomes as a conductor. Until then, it acts as an isolator. So once a lightning strikes, there are so many chances that one of the slabs gets damaged. And next time when the voltage comes in, it acts as a barrier for the current flow. So that we are measuring. If the third harmonics is measured by the leakage current monitor, we just connect to the earthing output of your lightning arrestor. We connect the clamp and we see the third harmonics. If that third harmonics is less than 10 milliamps, then fine. But it is now 20 milliamps, which means one of your slab has gone damaged, sir. So we just go and replace that particular lightning arrestor, but it is compatible to every manufacturer, maybe.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, calibration, because I have certain experience in calibration side. I worked with Fluke calibration for 1 year, and we actually set up a calibration lab. So whatever knowledge I have, with that best possibility, I will try to answer. As per the ISO, whichever we are complying, say 9,000, 14,000, whatever number. So as per the ISO, the company or the user has to calibrate it once in a year or in a 6 months based on the priority or kind of harshness of that environments. But we also recommend, please do it yearly, because multiple issues happening around, environment is different, moisture is different. So there could be a drift into the accuracies. So we recommend 1 year, sir. And this can be done across any NABL lab. So the equipment doesn't have to come to me, even for trimming. So that's easy, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it the sale only, or is there an AMC kind of a model that you're working where you come in and you take care of your own equipment and you are servicing railways, for example?
Service means repairs kind of service, sir, or no? Currently, we have not got that service profile. Yesterday, I met one senior officer from railways only. So they suggested, yes, you should also start a vertical. Now we'll also put this up into our board of directors meeting. So if they are interested into this business, but in the first view, if I start the services, my factory will close because there will be no sales, sir. So that is one point of view. But yes, we'll be putting it in front of our chairman and the board of directors. Yes, sir. You also had a query?
Just want to ask one question.
Yes, please, sir.
Basically, I am from the railways. I had a background of railway signaling.
Yes,
right
sir.
now I'm working with the metros over here as a consultant. And of course, being in the railways, I started my career. Mode 1A multimeter, the big, black, robust, was the best tool that all of our staff use. So it's a big journey for you also, as we are seeing over here. So as you mentioned over here, there are a lot of equipment that Mode 1A has now come up with.
Right.
Now, I was wanting to give an example. I think just a follow-up of what the previous person had asked.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to give an example of a Telgo train, of a Spanish train. I mean, that high-speed train of Telgo.
Okay.
So now, the idea being that the high-speed train has to be always running, very less of downtime, because it's a very expensive asset. So it's having about 2 GB data per train per day is being downloaded from the running train at a high speed of around 300 km per hour, and being processed online through basically cloud platforms, AI, machine learning and all.
Right.
Now, apart from high-speed trains, metro trains also, the downtime for, or basically the repair available is only in the night for about 2-3 hours when the train comes to depot and all.
Right.
So a lot of time goes away during the daytime. If we have a similar operation, that means basically we are downloading the running basically parameters from the sensors provided on the train and then being processed. So basically a big market is available for Mode 1A also to do that, use your own sensors and some sensors more, and provide this as a service, as what people had asked earlier.
Okay.
Because metros and all, they don't have too much of diagnostic maintenance staff available with them.
Right, sir.
So it could be a good example for Mode 1A to start into that area.
Yeah, so thankful for the new business avenue. I'll definitely put this up with the seniors, sir. Any more queries, ma'am? Great. Thank you so much for patient listening.